You would not believe the day that I just had. Today is Monday, September 9th. I just finished up my first on-air shift at Evolution 107.9 CFML FM, and the entire log of everything that I said was lost. But aside from that, I also tried to record this video back at the studio, back at our headquarters at BCIT, but the microphones were not working properly with the computer, so I had to drive home, come here. It's now the afternoon, and I just finished up the morning shift on the radio, and now I'm here talking about the Montreal Canadiens. Let's talk a little bit about some of these pieces of news, because there was a pretty big article. And by big, I mean very long article shared onto Reddit, posted by La Presse. It is this article right here. Marc Bergevin était confiant à 90, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's 90% d'obtenir Aho. And pretty much it's a really long questions and answers article here with Marc Bergevin. It was actually posted onto the R Hockey subreddit, and it was fully translated into English in the comments section below. We will be taking a look at this today, analyzing, because there have been some pretty nice statements and just little news updates about things going on in Habs Nation, Marc Bergevin giving his insights onto things. Let's go about it in order here and just scroll down with Jay Scher's comment. Let's talk about what Marc Bergevin said in regards to offer sheeting the Carolina Hurricanes' Sebastian Aho. The question goes, how much did you believe you guys were going to get Aho? And Bergevin says that he wasn't 100% sure. He had conversations with the agent. He had it with the other guy. I don't know what DG stands for. They were 90% confident. I didn't make an offer just to make one. We looked at their organization, the way they manage their money, and we decided to load the first year of the contract. For us, it was a real possibility. We believed it would happen. That's definitely really interesting to hear about, considering that the Hurricanes immediately, right up in front, were just like, yeah, no, we're gonna match it, dude. Yeah, we're gonna match it. That's pretty much how it went down, and everybody knew right away that the Canadiens would not end up with Aho at the end. The question afterwards asks, should you have submitted a more generous offer? Offer Aho a little bit more money, maybe tip the scales a little bit more in your favor. Afterwards, Bergevin says, I knew it would have been possible by filing an offer that would have cost us 4 first-round picks. For me, it was too much. Also, we thought that if the Hurricanes matched our offer of $21 million for the first year, they would have done it with a bid of $26 million. Then, the interview goes into a very interesting direction, talking about the potential of other RFAs on the market. Are you closing the door on another offer to a restricted free agent this fall? Everything is possible. But there are reasons as to why there have been no other offer sheets made. The contract, offsets, payroll. But in the league, it's possible. And what about from the Montreal Canadiens? No, at the moment we have about $6 million under the salary cap. It's not a lot to get a top player. So, there you have it. The Habs aren't in a position to really go after somebody via offer sheet once more. But Bergevin does answer the question, so it's a very interesting topic here. The interview then goes into, hey, if you guys got Aho, how good would that have been? But I think everybody kind of knows that it would have been really good. So let's move over onto the next topic here, discussed within this interview, talking about Max Domi. And in fact, not just Domi, but a whole bunch of other potential UFA players too. Let's talk about Max Domi. He's in the last year of his contract. Have you started negotiations with him? Yes, there have been discussions. Is it an active record? We are looking to sign long-term. We make projections. One wonders how much it will cost. Then you start negotiating. But if the vision of the player or the agent is not the same, he'll say, look, we'll wait a little bit more. We certainly had discussions, but as long as the player, the agent, or the team does not agree on the number, and then there's a pretty big question that comes after regarding another player, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about this. Hey, Max Domi, He's coming back. The plan is long-term, and I think nobody is surprised about that. It's just very nice to finally have that out there on the record. The idea that the Canadiens really want to get Domi locked down because Domi's great. He's absolutely great, and I think everybody coming out with the Domi comments and him saying things like how Montreal is better than Toronto and all that, it's so funny. He's such a part of this culture already that the team has already established, so it's great to see things coming to fruition and the goal for a long-term future being discussed up in the air like that. But obviously, there's negotiating time. Hopefully there are no problems going forward into the future with something like this, but hey, we never know. I just hope that if Domi is as positive as he has been about Montreal, things go the right way. But after Bergevin makes this comment about Domi, the big question comes out in the interview. Hey, Andrei Markov. Markov and the Canadiens. Is it a possibility? Marc Bergevin just says no. And that's it. Just a big ol' no. That's it. The plan is no Markov. Plain and simple. Sayonara. Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting a one-word answer, just no. Even if it was no, I was expecting a little bit of a longer paragraph as to why, but oh well. No. Then the question goes, hey, what about Jason Pominville? And then Bergevin just goes, I have a lot of young people growing up. We also have a lot of attackers. If I bring a player of this caliber with us, I will have to submit another ballot. Last year, we brought speed and youth. We want to continue focusing on these two aspects. And I think anybody who knows the NHL, anybody who knows a thing about hockey, that Jason Pominville is kind of the opposite of speed and youth. He's not really either of those things. So it makes sense as to why Bergevin wouldn't want this as an option. And then the interview goes into a few different directions here, talking about left-sided defensemen, different things, different players and all that stuff. Bergevin says he doesn't think about what the fans will say about things when he makes decisions, and he's talked about the fan reception to other things, talks about other really shallow topics there, like different identities of Canadiens players and all that stuff. How Bergevin was isolating himself, how he couldn't go to restaurants after that really bad season that they had a few years ago. It's a really, really long interview. So if you know French, go over there and read it. If you know English and not French, just go to the Reddit post and look at the comments section, or go to the French article and use the Google Translate thing at the top of the screen, because it's over there as well. But we have ourselves just these little collections here of different quotes said by Marc Bergevin about the Canadiens, the status of things today, different players like Domi, Markov, and Aho, and just a little bit of discussion points here. For Aho, it's the idea that Bergevin could have gone a little bit more, but he didn't want to, he didn't feel like it was necessary. They were 90% sure that they were going to get Aho, which is honestly kind of insane. For Markov, they really didn't think that they were going to get him. They didn't want to go get him. That was just it. Plain and simple. Shut down. No Markov. That's not the plan. And as for Domi, the long-term plan is in place. And the idea being that they want to extend Domi, and they want to make it quick, but they have all the negotiating time in the world here. Actually, not the time in the world. Just within the next year or so. Hopefully things don't hold out like other players have been, but Domi is a guy who I think probably would sign a little bit earlier. We saw Keller do it, right? Why not Domi? Why not Domi? But that just about wraps things up over here. Canadiens are in an interesting spot. It would be really interesting just taking a look at how things go forward. $6 million in cap space, no room for any RFAs. If that changes, then, ooh boy, Patrick Laine, let's go. But there's no real guarantee that that's going to happen. I don't really think it's going to happen. I'm just memeing here, guys. But Marc Bergevin does have a lot of intriguing things to talk about, so again, go check it out. It's all in the description down below. Links to the article, the Reddit post, and overall just the entire discussion that I'm pulling for this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. So that's sign on, and bye.